Hey, what's good everyone? Crazy Dino here, going to make a video over attack strategy. It's going to be a little lengthy probably, because I'm going to have to get into some explanations on several things, so hopefully I cover everything. This should help pretty much everyone with your attacks on defense castles and HP castles. Well, first things first, we're going to go over defense debuff, and this is for soloing. So I'll start with the Titan. You're a warlord. Warlord for defense debuff. These are the moonstones I have equipped on it. Pretty much stays standard as far as the Titan moonstones. The only thing I really ever change on my warlord are the troop moonstones, and that's only when swapping between HP and defense debuff. We'll get to that a little bit later in the video, but this is all about defense debuff for this segment. And I'm going through the moonstones so you guys can all see them. Now the archer attack moonstone, typically what I normally have on is a troop HP debuff, but since most of my attacks are with arch, I usually leave that moonstone on. It doesn't really do a whole lot. Actually, that was the wrong moonstone I put on. It should be one of these guys right here. Enemy troop HP debuff. So this is what I generally leave on my warlord all the time. I do swap the defense and HP debuff out with an attack moonstone depending on what troop I'm sending. So that's the warlord. Moonstones, traits. For the traits, again, I'll just go through the tree. You can take note of it. It's really self-explanatory. This is for all T1s all the way through T8s. Well, there is no trait for T8, but this is for all troop types. Some people have different traits for different tiers of troops. I managed to make this one to where it covers all of them. As you can see, going all the way back. Now the T1s is the only one I don't have fully maxed. I think there's only a couple players in the game that use T1, but T2, T3, T4, T5, T6, T7 is all covered. The troop traits. And I leave the enemy troop attack debuff the lowest. Reason for that being is when you're defending a castle, your troop attack really means nothing. So very rarely do people, especially good defenders, use troop attack to defend with. So their troop attack is really low, so there's really no sense in trying to debuff the enemy troop attack. Your main number one goal is to debuff the defense. This is going over defense debuff. Pretty consistent all the way through. So that's for the traits, and those traits will stay the same regardless of whether you're hitting a defensive build or an HP build. Alright, so moving on to the actual attack strategies. We'll start with infantry. Let's say the castle is defended with infantry troops. So there's several different ways to attack, several different strategies. So again, since I'm going to be sending arch and infantry, I would go in, change my moonstone here to the arch attack moonstone. Now I'm ready to debuff the defense with the troop defense debuff and hit hard with the arch attack. Arch attack only actually makes a difference of about 3 to 4 million kills, to be honest, from the troop HP debuff moonstone. So it's not a whole lot, but it is a little bit more. Alright, so for the gear, it's pretty much, there's several different ways you can do it. You can use your rally fill presets. For instance, infantry defense debuff. Since I have Regal 20, all my presets have a Regal 20 lead. And talking about Regal, the only times you're going to want to lead with Regal is if you have Regal 19, and that only applies to leading with, on siege defense debuff or soloing siege defense debuff. Regal 19 is not as good as 4 times infantry defense debuff, 4 times arch or cav debuff. So you want to use 4 times on all regular single types, and the Regal 19 lead on siege defense debuff. Now if you have Regal 20, it applies to all single types. Yeah, I've tested it out already, and that's what my conclusion has been so far, and it's actually held up pretty true. So that's what I'm going with. So infantry defense debuff, so I would switch to that. Let's say I'm about to attack. Alright, so my first hit, I'm going to send this build right here. Now the reason why I don't use any gladiator gear or anything like that is because I'm leading with Regal. I'm going to win face off pretty much 99.9% of the time because of my Regal lead. If you don't have Regal lead and you're using 4 times, your next best effort would be to change either one of your helmets, which it'll be basically on, this will be the gear that'll be on your lead. You would change one helmet and put on the Gladiator helmet of victory. This will ensure or give you more face off, plus it'll give you a bonus if you win face off and increase your attack and troop HP. So if you already have your presets built, you already know what the gear is on infantry defense debuff, but I'll go over it real quick. So it's going to be 4 times willful head and chest, and then the weapons are all the same on all presets, whether regardless of whether you're attacking infantry defense, cav, or siege. It's going to be the penetrating gladius or longsword of the crusade, and the only difference between the penetrating gladius and the longsword and the gladius is the hero stat. As you can see right there, the longsword has higher hero attack but less hero defense. The gladius is kind of just in the between the rest of them. So it's the troop stuff on it really doesn't apply, but again, oh, that's the chosen. I'm sorry about that. I don't know if I even have a longsword to even look at. Yep, there's one right there. So you can see the hero attack is higher and the troop hero defense is lower on a longsword than a gladius. That's the only difference. So it doesn't really matter which one you use, but you're going to be, you want it to be the penetrating of crusade, and then you want to use the penetrating battle axe of crusade as well. Again, since we're attacking infantry and you're using arch, you want to use archer leverage bonus. The leverage won't apply on defense builds, but if they swap from defense to HP, the leverage will apply and you'll still kill more than you would if you just had regular attack runes. So leave the leverage runes in and it should help. So that's 4 times, and then again, that's hitting a defensive build. If you don't burn them using the gladiator helmet or 4 times what you're using as far as the infantry defense debuff, then chances are they got too many troops and you can't solo. Moving on, it's going to be the same thing that applies. So the archer defense debuff, this applies the same to all single types. Siege is the only thing that's going to be a little bit different. I'll explain that when we get to it. So it's the ferocious head and chest, same weapons, same rings. You want to use the regal rings for attack if you can over the radiant rings. It's got a significant amount of defensive debuff, more than the radiant rings do. So use regular regal rings if you got them. If you don't have them and you can make them, I would suggest making them. And if you got the regal medallions to upgrade them, then I would definitely upgrade your attack regal rings. It's going to just help you significantly hit harder and burn and kill more. So on Cav, again, I use the Cav bonus leverage runes. This is all basically the same presets I would use to fill rallies. And again, I'm leading with Regal, only because I have Regal 20. But if you don't have Regal 20, then you're going to want 4 times this gear. Again, if you're losing face off, or you think you're losing face off, you can try swapping a helmet or your chest piece to the Gladiator of Victory. But I wouldn't suggest swapping both. That's a lot of face off, and if they're defending with pure face off, it may work. You can go with a full gladiator lead, and just give you a little hint, something you can do on your lead hero. Let's see, let me equip it here and I'll show you. So if you have a gladiator lead on your hero, or you want a full gladiator lead, what I would suggest is going into your equipment slot and making a preset on your equipment slot with Gladiator of Victory, head and chest, penetrating crusade weapons, all of that, you know what I mean. What you see right here. That way, if you switch to, like, let's say, okay, boom, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna go archer defense debuff, and then you swap to it, and then all you gotta do is swap your lead right here, boom, hit that hero preset, change the gladiator lead, and you're ready to go. So going to Cav defense debuff, and that's basically, again, if you are filling rallies and you're familiar with filling rallies and you already know these presets, the head and chest is the spear, head and chest. The weapons are the same, the regal rings, attack pets, and then the runes, of course, are infantry bonus leverage because you're sending infantry at Cav. Alright, moving on to Siege, and this is the fun one. Siege defense debuff, and this always trips out a lot of people, especially if they're not used to hitting siege builds or burning people with this gear. But it's going to be 4 times majestic head and chest, and then of course the reason why, shouldn't have to explain it, but the enemy troop defense debuff 129.6%. yeah, it's not a lot. but find me a head and chest that has actual siege defense debuff. It doesn't exist. So you need the troop defense debuff, and this is the highest one of all the gear that's out there. There is no level 70 gear with enemy troop defense debuff for head and chest. So you're going to use the majestic, and you want to engrave it because it's going to increase your troop HP. And then for the weapons are the same, the rings are the same, the attack pets are the same. The runes, on the other hand, since there is no leverage against siege, whether it be HP or defense, I use the archer attack rune, the mighty battle rune of cruelty. Again, it just increases the archer attack and the archer stats, but when you're attacking siege, you're sending archer. The reason why you send an archer at siege is because it has a preemptive strike ability. Therefore, you're going to kill more troops sending archer than you would if you're sending infantry or cav. So that's all your basic defense debuff on all single types. For HP debuff, it's a little bit different. HP builds, there's a lot of different ways you can attack an HP build, and I'll explain. So basically I have several presets below my siege HP debuff, and then let me explain. The siege HP debuff is basically typically only for just rally filling, and very rarely do we rally an HP castle, but sometimes, you know, you can kill a lot if you got a big rally march size, so sometimes it's worth a shot, especially if the guy's offline. Then you can actually kill quite a few troops. But moving on, so what I normally do if I find an HP build, this is what I send first. I call it Glad Arch Attack. And all this is basically, of course, Regal Lead again. If you don't have Regal Lead, it's going to be 4 times this the gear. Gladiator's Chainmail of Victory, Gladiator's Helm of Victory. Same exact weapons on all the other presets. The Penetrating Gladiator or Longsword of Crusade, Penetrating Battle Axe of Crusade, Regal Rings. Again, if you got updated Regal Rings or upgraded, the higher the better, the more defense debuff. And then for the runes on siege, on this torpedo, basically on this right here, this is for all HP single types. You can attack infantry, arch, cav, or siege HP defenses with this gear. This gear is type neutral, is what I like to call it, I guess. There is no actual specific single type you're targeting, so this works on all single types. And then the reason why too is I use the Mighty Battle Rune of Attack. It's just a regular troop attack moonstone. It has less than the single type attacks, but this also makes you more versatile, where you can use this to basically attack anything and everything if you want. If the defender is in defensive gear and he has less than, let's say, 60, 50 billion troops or so, depending on your research and stuff, you'll burn the shit out of them with this setup as well. And you can pretty much attack HP or defense builds with this. To get a little, I guess, I don't even know the word you want to use, unorthodox, I guess. Let's say you want to kill more in an HP build, and it is possible. When you're going against HP, the 2 stats that actually matter more than HP debuff is your attack, your troop attack, and your troop HP. So if you can increase your HP and your troop attack, you're going to burn a lot more troops against an HP defense build. So to explain this, to show you what I do, is I use the Gladiator Victory Head and Chest, Chainmail of Victory, and the Gladiator Helmet of Victory, and I'll explain why. Because this is going to help you win face-off, because it increases your troop attack, or your troop stat, or your hero stats, and it debuffs their hero stats. So it almost guarantees you a face-off win. Well, if you win face-off, then you get these bonuses down here. Troop attack on face-off victory. Look at that, 3,859%. So that's a crap load of attack. What did I say? You want a high attack, high HP if you're attacking an HP target. Same thing. Troop HP on face-off victory, 3,100, 68%. So you multiply that times 1, 6 pieces on my gear. It would be 8 on yours if you don't have the Regal Lead. So that's a lot. Now to increase that attack even more, the other stat or the other feature you need when you're hitting HP is march size. If you have a huge march size, a crap load of HP, and a crap load of troop attack, you're going to really hit them hard. You're going to burn probably a couple 100 million, 400 to 500 million troops per hit, per solo. And that's worth soloing an HP target. So to do that, and the only downfall of this is you're going to lose pretty much however big your march size is with this build. You're going to lose all your troops when you hit. He's going to kill all your march, but you're going to kill way more troops than him. So it's still worth it, but you lose a lot. So my march size with this is 26 million. So, and that's using 300% march size. The weapons to do this, and you're sacrificing HP debuff. All you're doing is getting the troop attack and march size. It's the penetrating gladius of Legion and the penetrating battle axe of Legion. And you want that on all 4 heroes, and that's going to explode your march size. Now, the Regal enhances, it's got a deputy bonus, and so all deputy stats are enhanced. I think it's 7 by 7% with Regal 20. So that's why I use the Regal lead, is it enhances all these stats of all these deputies by 7% more. So it's actually worth using the Regal lead on this, and again, it makes my march size like 8 or 26 million or something like that. It's ridiculous. It's one of the best setups I have so far for HP. This is the one I use whenever I just really want to kind of be a dickhead and make a HP build shield if they're not, you know, if they're just going around kind of being troll or whatever. It works. It's good stuff. So, and then going back, just the regular gladiator archer attack, it's basically the exact same setup. The only difference is the weapons. It's the penetrating gladius of Crusade instead of the penetrating gladius of Legion, battle axe, etc. So that's the HP strategies. As far as your Titan, the only thing I would change basically on my Titan when I'm hitting HP is this one right here. I go from defense debuff to HP debuff. And of course, if I'm hitting siege or infantry, I'm going to leave that archer attack moonstone. Now I have all the single type moonstones maxed out, so I could go to cav or infantry, and I've never used it. I could upgrade that one and even use siege, but so I just have the 3 single type attack stones maxed out. Swap those out depending on what single type I'm using if I have time, or if I even want to mess with it. But it does kill a few. I'd say a couple million more than if you didn't use it. So just depending on your preference, you can use it and you'll kill more. I think that covers all the attack strategies. Hopefully this video is extremely helpful to you guys. Any questions, leave it in the comments or send me a message online. I'd be happy to answer. And if you know of any setups opposed to what I showed you that work better, please share. Anyways, guys, go kill some shit, have some fun. Peace.